Bonum.
Bonum. What is this?
Oh, one moment, please. Everyone, please listen.
Fluttershy.
Didn't we all just stand here and explain to the court what we clearly saw? It's a lantern, so what? What's so special about it? Explain to me so I can understand, because I'm stupid.
So that you can understand? Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious just by looking at it. Mr. Wright. Well, what is it, Mr. Layton? There is something about this witness.
Is she the witch?
Miss Kira, was it? Tell me, Miss Kira. How good is your eyesight exactly?
Huh?
As you just heard Mr. Wright explain, the answer to your query is quite obvious at a glance. Tell me, are you able to see the mud present on this lantern?
Mud? What mud?
Ah.
What are you talking about?
Whoa!
Layton, calm down. Your Honor, did you hear that just now?
Huh.
Ah, yes, indeed. What does it mean exactly? It means that Miss Kira's poor eyesight is the reason she
They
cannot
all
see the
have
mud
bad
present
eyesight?
on this lantern. In other words, the validity of Miss Kira's testimony is questionable at best.
Whoa.
Look! Ah!
Order in the court. If she can't see well, she must be a witch. Burn her! What say you in your defense, witness? I highly recommend you give us nothing but the truth. You're on trial now, too.
Bum, bum, bum. Get ready for the furnace.
I'm sorry, Inquisitor Barnum. It's true. I need to wear glasses all the time, in fact.
You need to wear glasses?
You? We haven't invented glasses.
Now that you mention it, I did notice something odd about you today.
Oh, I thought you looked familiar. Gone is the mist that clouded my mind. In its place, clarity.
Fair maiden, a pair of spectacles are as valuable as a shield to a knight. Make haste and procure another pair. Now then, Miss Kira, tell me, at the time of the incident, were you wearing your glasses?
No.
No, I was not wearing them. The truth is, I lost my glasses a couple of days ago.
You lost them. You lying harlot. So our glasses were missing during the time of the incident. Mr. Wright, might I recommend that you keep note of this fact. It could prove useful later, or right now, you know.
Like, at this. What? Wait, why would she.
'Cause there's more trial stuff coming up. I believe there's nothing left to prove on this matter.
Huh.
At the time of the murder, the accused did not have a witch's scepter in her possession.
Sounds right.
Wait just a moment. No, and I have a lot more left to say.
That's right! My trusty sword of justice shall cut through this witch's treacherous lies!
Hey, buddy.
I may have lost my glasses, but I haven't lost my will to testify and slowly strangle this flower.
Oh! Eureka! I remember now! Old age is a way of sneaking up on me. I'm sure you must understand.
I like how excited he gets, his little hands.
I like how his hands are inside of his beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Understand you're all completely ridiculous, and
Ha-ha.
I hate you.
Ha-ha.
And get away from me. Stop touching me. It would seem we have not yet arrived at a clear-cut verdict. Witnesses, you may once again begin to testify to the court.
Okay.
Tell us about the scepter and how it was used in the detestable display of witchcraft that you all witnessed tonight.
Tell us the deets.
The girl was not holding the scepter in the same hand as the lantern, which means it must have been in her other hand. This is a bunch of crap.
That's a
Fine.
bunch of crap.
The accused is holding a milk bucket in the court illustration. Who's to say she wasn't also holding the scepter in that hand? That milk bucket is lighter than it looks. Even Snowy could carry it, so she could have easily held the scepter as well.
Snowy's very strong.
I did not see this milk bucket. Everything felt like an illusion.
Oh my god! What?
Wait.
What?
Wait. The scepter was in her other hand, you say. Indeed, such a proposal is feasible.
Sir Baker,
Yes, Your Honor?
it is the strangest thing. The longer this trial goes on, the more you begin to resemble a legitimate defender.
It's weird, right?
Huh?
Just happens.
Well,
No matter. Defender, you may begin your interrogation.
So who
Cross-examination.
do we get here?
Girl was not holding the scepter in the same hand as the lantern, which means it must have been in her other hand.
Okay.
The accused is holding a milk bucket in the court illustration. They're all speculating. It's lighter than it looks.
All
and
right,
it's not easy
press
to
her on
carry.
that.
Hold on. I did not see this milk bucket. He didn't see the milk bucket.
Okay, well, I also think we should find out how the lady
Let's go
can
back
know
and
how
see.
light. How does she know how light the bucket is? Did she sell it to her?
Just 1 second, Miss Mary.
Oh, what is it now? Snowy and I don't have all night, you know. Come on then, out with it.
I just have one question regarding your testimony. How exactly did you know that the bucket Miss Candabella was carrying was light enough for Snowy to carry?
Huh? Yeah, well,
Face.
you see, the girl always uses the same bucket whenever she comes to buy milk from us. Naturally, I would have seen that bucket countless times before.
Uh-huh.
You've seen it countless times before. It doesn't answer my question. You specifically said that the bucket is lighter than it looks. Miss Mary, at some point tonight, you must have held that bucket yourself.
Oh.
Nope.
Now then, please enlighten us as to exactly when you got your hands on the bucket.
Oh, that face. I love the face of this lady. It's the best. She's like pouting, like,
It's true. By that time, Rubs and Mugs had already been burnt to ash.
she took the
And
bucket.
then I noticed the milk in that bucket that the girl had been holding in her hand.
The milk?
Then, when those two went up in a blaze, Snowy and I made a dash for the bucket.
Really?
As the girl stood there, looking confused, we took the milk from her to make sure it was okay.
Oh my god, this lady. She wanted to protect her son's milk.
Unbelievable. Witness, you...
Well, it was just so wasteful. The thought of all that disgusting ash falling into such precious milk. I worked so hard to get the milk.
Precious
I felt I just had to protect it, so I took the bucket back to the farm with me so I could sell it again.
Sell the secondhand milk.
Madam, you mean to tell the court you took evidence from a crime scene back home with you?
Wow.
And that explains why we're unable to locate the milk bucket at the scene.
Oh my, you're scaring poor Snowy, not me, I'm brave. But here, I brought the bucket with me in case I got thirsty. Anyway, see, I didn't even tamper with the milk. I didn't drink any of it yet.
I'm sure you didn't. You know where it came from.
You know where it came from.
The court shall accept this milk bucket as evidence.
You okay? It's only a couple hours old at this point.
Looks like that's one more piece of evidence for us. Wonder if they've invented pasteurization.
No.
Now will the gentleman with the impressive beard proceed with his testimony?
So you're gonna press him now?
He didn't see the milk bucket.
So that means
But there clearly was a milk
that
bucket.
means he saw everything after then. He didn't see it when it happened. He saw the aftermath, it sounds like.
You didn't see the bucket?
Indeed, naturally there was no way of me noticing the witch before the crime occurred. My mind was placid as the most placid of placid lakes. Lake Placid, I think specifically. But like the early bird on its morning hunt for that elusive worm, my senses remained vigilant.
You do realize the other witnesses have all testified to having seen Miss Candabella carrying that bucket, though.
And when you have journeyed as far as I have through life, you find all is but an illusion. That is, except for Lord Storyteller, of course.
He's not an illusion. Barnum's like, really?
And that's it for the testimony. Still something's bound to be there.
We have a bucket now.
Can't believe Mary took the bucket home with her.
Miss Mary must be one of those thieving forest wolves we've been hearing about.
Well,
Let us hope she doesn't eat like a wolf as well, Luke, for her Snowy's sake. I've got this new piece of evidence, but the question is, how can I use it? You know, looking at this milk bucket now, it does look sort of different from the sketch, don't you think?
huh.
It might be a good idea to get a nice, good look at the actual milk bucket.
Good idea. Let's go to the, court evidence menu, probably. That's not it.
Nope.
How do we look at court evidence again? I forget.
I think you can hit press. Oh, shoot. Oh, I just hit press.
Oh, okay.
But did you actually see that with your own eyes?
Alas, magic's vile embrace had decepted from my sight, so I didn't see it per se. However, through my years of knightly training, I have learned to see through such cunning trickery.
Is that so?
For example, this morning I found myself unable to locate the whereabouts of my trusty blade. Its location was a mystery. So I tried my hardest to think and remember where I would have kept it last, and before long, behold, it transpired I was carrying my trusty blade in its scabbard all along. Life is riddled with such trickery.
So tricky.
Did you say life is riddled with trickery, Nick? Only if we're talking about my life, Maya. Only if we're talking about my life. I think we can hit present and look at it, even though we don't necessarily. So, Kira has poor eyesight and wears glasses, but she lost them a few days before the incident, but we know that already. The milk bucket was a fellow was carrying at the time of the crime. Mary brought it back to her, and we have the case outline.
Do you not tap the item in the picture and look at it? No.
I cannot. Sometimes they'll have more information on this, but they do not seem to at this particular moment. Profiles. Oh, look at all these nice illustrations. Currently unemployed. Seems to have fixation with goat's milk, I'll say. Witness mysterious old guy totally detached from reality.
Okay.
Look at lighter than it looks.
So we gotta do something here that we're not doing.
It looks hard to hold. Oh, the handle. It doesn't have a wrist hold.
I see.
She could have easily held the scepter as well. The scepter had a giant ring around it.
I see.
The bucket
In
the drawing had a big like thing,
Yeah.
but look at this handle.
Yeah,
the way
no, I
that
see
is
that.
down there.
I see that. It's true. You're gonna present that. And
I kind of want to present it. What do you think?
All right, we got plenty of.
Objection!
All of your testimonies have come to the same conclusion. The scepter was not in
Smart.
her right hand with the lantern, therefore it must have been in her other hand that was holding the bucket. However, that's not it. Not by a long shot. What do you mean? Contrary to what one of the witnesses stated, the milk bucket was in fact at the crime scene. And you'll also notice something about this bucket. Take another look at the court illustration. Something about the bucket seems a bit odd, wouldn't you say? This illustration was based on eyewitness accounts, so a small discrepancy or two is conceivable.
Objection!
Huh. Boom.
Actually, Inquisitor Barnum, it's highly likely this illustration is much less accurate than you think. In fact, there is a blatant contradiction present in this illustration. Admittedly, it does at first look possible that Miss Cantabella was holding the scepter and the bucket at the same time. However, if you look at the real milk bucket, that possibly goes up in smoke, because the giant things on the side. Let's have a look at the real deal. Notice the handle?
That cannot be!
You couldn't squeeze both and have it fit in there, and you couldn't hook it.
Oh, but it is. This particular milk bucket has two pieces of wood on either side of the handle. If you were to try and hold both the scepter and this bucket, well, let's just say that'd be a challenge, to put it simply. There's no way anyone could hold both the bucket and the scepter at once.
That must mean clearly you have the wrong bucket.
We never lie when it comes to milk. That's the very bucket I took.
She just doesn't want to talk anymore.
Looks like the witnesses are as surprised about this as Barnum.
So they're being paid off because they're all like poor and unemployed.
It's possible. I think it's probably not even that complicated.
You think they just really like Barnum and what?
I think they just
don't
love
like
Barnum
witches?
and they like
Yeah.
finding witches. The defendant couldn't have been able to hold the bucket and the scepter at the same time. Also, we have already established that she was not holding a scepter in her right hand. Therefore, the defendant, Mrs. Spella Cantabella, was not holding a witch's scepter at any point during the incident.
Good job, Phoenix.
Order! Order! I said order! Just what is the meaning of this? In all my days as judge of this court, I've never heard such an argument.
You burned a lot of witches.
There's a lot of innocent dead people on my hands right now. These are all but paltry set of words, and yet they ring with such remarkable strength. I just want to touch them and feel how strong they are. The words.
The words.
Your Honor,
Your Honor, calm down.
what you just heard was logic.
Logic.
Logic, you
Logic.
say?
What magic is this?
Logic sounds similar to the word magic. Burn them all!
What is it with these two? They just silenced Inquisitor Barnham with mere words.
Woo!
Such foolishness. This must be some type of witchcraft.
Oh god, you called it.
Wait, do you think?
Could they be witches?
Oh man.
It would seem that the concept of logic does not exist in this world.
They're all real dumb.
Right, then let's take this chance to knock their case down a peg or two.
I'm worried if we keep this up, we'll all be joining Espella on a one-way trip to the flames.
Objection!
Oh. Spike it.
Most intriguing. A knight allows his sword to speak for him during battle. You have spoken with a sword of words, an S-word.
That's weird.
So be it. I too shall wield such a blade.
But no, not literally.
What do you mean? Sir Blue Knight, there appears to be a hole in this bucket. A
Oh,
logic of yours.
this bucket.
A hole? According to the earlier testimony, it was believed the accused had the lantern hanging from her wrist, by the handle. However, she supposedly dropped it, hence it being covered in mud. That's right. While that may be true, it does not necessarily mean the accused was therefore unable to use magic.
Uh-huh.
It is merely a question of when she dropped the witch's scepter.
What do you mean, Inquisitor Barnum?
It's very simple, my lord. The accused, while first holding the lantern and the witch's scepter, cast her magic. Then she dropped both the lantern and the scepter.
Uh-huh.
The witch's scepter was dropped after the spell was cast. Oh, of course, that must be it.
Must be that one.
What say you, Sir Blue Knight? That is but a taste of the knightly knowledge of the Inquisition.
Yeah, it's not that.
Wow, Sir Barnum cut through that baker's witchery like a hot through knife butter.
Now you've got two ones
Exemplary.
at once.
I expected nothing less from the hand of Barnham. Oh, to be able to shake that powerful hand someday. Barnum! Barnum!
Shake his
Barnum!
hand. Wanna touch his
That
body.
Inquisitor isn't quite what he first appeared. Yeah, it sure seems that way. Just a moment ago, he seemed like he'd never even heard of logical debate. Now he's suddenly using it against us.
What a dummy.
This guy's no joke.